Hey guys, Martin the Martian here to talk about the movie The Martian. I wonder if any of you guys have been anticipating this movie to review by me because the name is Martin the Martian, but I should say, to get it out of the way, no, I didn't get the name off of this movie. I just thought it's like a cool name, I guess. But with further ado, we are going to talk about The Martian. It's not a recent movie. Well, technically it is, yeah, because it came out last year, but it's not in theaters, so I'm just reviewing it for the hell of it because I really do love this movie. So the leading cast member of The Martian is Matt Damon, playing this astronaut named Mark Watney, who gets stranded on Mars after this mission with his crew, and this big storm comes in where they have to leave early. Mark gets left behind, and so then we have the movie. The crew ends up leaving because they thought he was dead, and then turns out he's alive, and so now he has to survive on his own on Mars for such a long time, and this is the movie. Now I have to say right out the bat, this movie is actually pretty funny. For a movie that's about somebody that's stranded on another planet, that can get depressing really quickly, but for some reason, this movie just takes the turns against us, and it's very optimistic. Mark Watney is one of the most optimistic persons I've seen on screen and in real life. Something I forgot to mention, this movie is directed by Ridley Scott. If you guys don't know who Ridley Scott is, he made Alien back in like the 1970s or 1980s, whenever that thing came out. But that is a classic horror slash sci-fi movie. Need I say more? Besides Matt Damon, it's got a really big cast, which I'm going to try to list. So we got Jessica Chastain, Kate Mara, Kristen Wiig, Donald Glover, Sebastian Stan, and etc. It is a really big cast, and they all are phenomenal in this movie, I will admit. Just like I said on my chef review, it is a really good supporting cast. And as the crew of Mark Watney in this movie, you don't feel like they're just co-workers. You feel like they're a family, like they're just really good friends that have gone in so many missions, or that they've known each other for a long time. You really feel that friendship between them. It's not just like, oh, we have to go save our co-worker. No, it's like we have to go save our best friend. And that adds more emotion to this movie. Another thing that I would really like to mention is the visuals in this movie. Phenomenal. I mean, it really looks beautiful for the way that Mars looks. It kind of looks like the Grand Canyon, sorta, but it just, the visuals in this movie, all these wide shots, all these slow moving shots, it looks beautiful as Mars. And I mean, how can Mars look beautiful? But it does. I don't know, maybe it's just me that appreciates cinematography in movies, but I just think it's gorgeous. Another great thing about this movie is the soundtrack. Now, I am a big fan of soundtracks in movies, and this movie has a really good soundtrack. It is a combination of disco music to, like, I don't want to say instrumental, but like scores, I guess. It sounds sort of sci-fi-ish, which this movie is because it's in Mars, but it's a good combination. You got, and I'm a fan of old-fashioned, old pop, 80s, 70s, all that jazz. Mark Watney in this movie, he is one of the most optimistic persons I have ever seen in my life. Like I said, in and out of screen. And it really does help progress the plot forward, because anybody, a good amount of people, would get to a certain point and say, I give up, I'm gonna die. But this guy doesn't. At some point in the movie, he says, I'm not gonna die here. And he gets to work. He scienced the shit out of this. And I'm quoting off of that movie when he says, I'm gonna science the shit out of this thing. And that's another thing too. This movie can get rather boring or uninteresting with so much science talk, sort of like National Geographic or Discovery Channel or whatever. But this movie does a really good job because you're interested in the characters. And so what you're seeing this person do, maybe we don't understand everything he's doing, but we try to understand, and we get through most of the things, and it works. You can understand 95% of the things that go on between here, all the scientific terms, everything. Another good thing about this movie, it's not entirely on Mars. Most of the movie takes place on Mars, but we have some scenes going back and forth from Mars to Earth, because you see the Earth react to how there's an astronaut still alive on Mars and how everybody is trying to bring him back. And so you're seeing all this dispute on Earth, this big controversy. Should we spend all the millions of dollars to go get one human back? Is it worth it? Is he still going to be alive by the time we get him? and everything, and all this paperwork that they even have to do to have permission to go out to Mars again. It's pretty interesting. It works. I do enjoy those scenes when they go to Earth and back to Mars and Earth and back to Mars, because you're constantly interested. You want to know what the humans on Earth are thinking, what they're doing right now. Are they gonna decide to get him or not? And can they in time, by the time he's still around? This movie has a very intense finale where it has me biting my nails on the edge of my seat, you know, the quotes and stuff, but it's a really good finale. I enjoy this movie a lot. I've actually never seen Castaway. I know I'm getting to that eventually, but when I saw this movie in theaters one time, it was just an experience to see the music, the visuals, everything. This is just a great movie that I really recommend you guys to see, and I'm gonna give it a 4.9 out of 5. You know what? Screw it. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 because I really do think this is gonna be another classic someday by Ridley Scott. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Like, it's phenomenal. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.